All right. So typically, I avoid talking about politics. I think that it just gets people riled up, and I've said it before that it's kind of like your political beliefs are as unique as your fingerprint, and no one's match. At the same time, I just think that it's kind of important right now with where we are as a country and where we are in history to kind of say the things that I think because we're in really, really scary shape as a society, and it's just crazy to kind of take a step back as a political independent and watch everything that's happening. First and foremost, I got picked on when I was little, as a kid. I was really smart. I was really skinny, and I got bullied like brutally, mercilessly, as a child. And even decades later, it's something that still I never completely got over. I still kind of, in a way, live that trauma. I still remember. I still sometimes feel that pain like I'm experiencing it in the present moment. When I see the way that Trump speaks to people, calls people names, makes fun of people, it reminds me of the people that bullied me. And I just think that it is very, very, very sad. And it's also very scary that so many people would be behind someone that speaks that way. Um, Especially religious people who are supposed to be about the golden rule and, the greater good and love thy neighbor. It's like this weird cult of Christians that support Trump, and I don't even know what to make of it, but it's one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen in my life because he's literally the polar opposite of the Christian prophet. Um, at the same time, like, I'll give you a little something that I've said to a couple people when I was having political discussions. Say you had a child, and your child was going to either act and talk to people the way that Donald Trump acts and talks to people, or he was going to act and talk to people the way that Obama acts and talks to people. Wouldn't you rather have your child be articulate and speak to people respectfully? Or would you rather have them act like Trump? Because if you would want your child to act like Trump, I think it would be best for you to just remove yourself from my life. Because I don't have room for people like that. Maybe, the economics, the financial situation, all right, whatever. But at the same time, 85% of people that own stocks are rich. So with the stock market jumping, the rich are just making more money. Yeah, like jobs are being created, but there's all entry level bullshit. It's not like good jobs are being created. And it's just really scary. Trying to take away people's right to have an abortion, that's something that, it doesn't affect me, but it bothers me. Taking away environmental protections. I didn't even realize that he shrunk Escalante out on the Arizona-Utah border, which is one of the most beautiful places in the world. But they're shrinking these places down so they can drill, and it's like these places, like once they're gone, they're gone. Like they aren't coming back. There aren't a lot of places in the world that have been conserved to preserve their natural beauty, and it's a shame to see that these places are, being opened up for industrialization when it's really not necessary. Clean energy would be a way better thing. But the rich aren't making money off of clean energy. They make money off of oil. Just like they make money off of pharmaceutical products, which is why they don't want us to have weed. Weed would put such a dent in pharmaceutical profits. So they're going to make it federally illegal as long as they can, because every day that weed is illegal, they're making more money off of prescriptions. And the amount of money they make per day on their drugs is astronomical. It is just ridiculous. So, I guess, yeah, I'm a socialist. That's what I am, and I never really realized it until recently that, I would be a democratic socialist if I had to put a label on myself. I'm a registered independent, and a fun little fact about me that you might not know is I wanted Trump to win in 2016. I hated Hillary that much. I'll admit that I was wrong. Most other people won't admit that they were wrong. It's human to err, but to admit it is divine, I believe is the quote, something along those lines. Yeah, if you can grow a painkiller and an anti-seizure medication in your yard or in your house, that's going to cost rich people a lot of money. And rich people are rich enough. Like, when you're rich, you don't need to worry about money. It's just kind of become a game of Monopoly, where they're just kind of moving the pieces around and seeing how much richer they can get at our expense. I mean, you pay off a congressman makes sure that they pass the laws that you want or strike down the laws that you don't. And it just kind of, it just keeps making people richer. They're richer than they need to be. No one needs $1 billion. I mean, they just don't. And before Ronald Reagan was president, I believe there was a tax on earnings over $10 million a year. I believe it was like 70 or 80% tax. I mean, don't quote me. It might have even been more. But yeah, it was if you earned $10 million a year, everything you earned after that was subject to, I think, like a very high tax, like 70 or something percent, which went back to the people. And back in the day, like, the country really did run well. But ever since Reagan, the gap between the rich and the poor has continued to widen. He cut taxes for the rich. To tell you the truth, I don't know what HW did. I'm not knowledgeable enough on that administration to say whether or not he cut taxes for the rich, but he probably did, because that's what the Republicans do. I know that W did, and I know that Trump is doing it on a whole different level, to the point where they changed the whole tax code to make it benefit the rich. What else? Healthcare. I have health problems. I've got problems with my digestive system. I'm in severe pain almost every day, and I don't have the insurance or the money to go see a gastrointestinal specialist to help me. I would love to feel better. I would love to get my cavities fixed. I would love to not suffer, but it's all about the money here, and as long as the right people are getting paid, it doesn't matter. Now, all of these politicians that are telling people that they don't need insurance, do you think that any of these politicians don't have insurance? Because they all have it, and they'll continue to have it as a part of their severance package when they're no longer a senator or rep or whatever, and you're paying for it, and you'll continue to pay for their health care, but they don't want us to have it because the pharmaceutical company makes a lot of money off of us being sick. It's very sad. I don't have insurance right now, and I require a couple of psychiatric medications to live, properly. And I have to get my medications at Walmart because they have a program where it's a little bit cheaper. So today I had to go pick up my medications, and I was supposed to be ready at like 4. I get there at almost 7. It's still not ready. There's always a line. It's like a circus. By the time I finally got my meds, my 2 medications for this month cost me almost $90. When I was sick and I wasn't working and I had Medicaid, they cost me, I believe, $2 a month. So I don't know, man. I just don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair that people are being beaten down by student loans that have exponential interest rates. I mean, there are people that have been paying student loans for a decade, and their loan, there's barely a dent in what the original loan was because of the interest rates. It's a predatory type loan. It's so easy to get, and once you've got it, you're fucked. And it's the rich getting richer. And that's why Betsy DeVos is, not going to do anything about that, and she makes it harder to do something about it because she's a billionaire. So what does she care? I mean, she just wants to keep getting richer. Again, they're playing Monopoly with us. They don't care. Billionaires don't care about you. They just don't care. I mean, why would they? I would love to be able to go to college. You know, I've got a student loan situation. I probably could never get back into school, but you know, if I could go to college, you know, like a public school for free, I would be a lawyer. You know, it's money that's holding me back. And to tell you the truth, I would rather pay more taxes to have these things, to have school, to have healthcare, to have legal marijuana. I would rather pay more taxes, because it's not just me that I want to have insurance, it's my neighbor. I want everyone to have insurance. I want everyone to have access to quality healthcare. Even if you're someone that I don't like or I don't agree with, I want you to have a good quality of life. I want you to have insurance, and I want you to be able to make the choices that you want to make. I'm a medical marijuana card holder. If I got hurt at work, I would get hit with a drug test and possibly lose my job because of that. Somehow, if I've used marijuana recently and I get hurt at work, then that it doesn't matter why I got hurt or whether I was sober or not. Say I smoked last night, went to work today, rolled my ankle, failed a drug test, I'm done. But if I got drunk last night and then rolled my ankle today because I was hungover, which actually affects your motor skills, I would be fine. I mean, alcohol affects people way worse than marijuana. You know, and it's just really sad where we're at as a country. Donald Trump is one of the worst people to ever live. He is simply the most divisive figure in the United States since Civil War times. Throughout history, it has been very common for half of American citizens to dislike the president. But this is the first time, at least openly, that the president has disliked half of the people. And it's very scary. It's very scary to watch him lie. It's very scary to watch him discredit the press and spread misinformation. The New York Times wrote an opinion piece that he didn't like, so he sued them based on him not liking their opinion. They're fake news, they're failing, blah, 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 blah. I mean, the piece that they wrote was an opinion piece. How is someone's opinion wrong? It's an opinion. But they said something he didn't like, and that's just how he is. He actually, at one point in his administration, looked into changing free speech laws because people were saying things he didn't want them to say. Also, I don't know if any of you recently noticed that he was talking a lot of shit about New York State and how it's going to no longer be his home, and he was going to move to Florida. Well, this is because he was operating, I believe, 8 charities in New York State under the Trump Foundation, and I believe these were for sick children. He was taking money from the charities and using it for his own gain, like taking the money out and not using it toward the charity. He defrauded 8 charities, and he had to pay $250 fine times 8, which is $2 million. It was a $250,000 fine for each charity that he defrauded. This is not fake news. It is on the New York State Attorney General's website. It is a .gov site. .gov is not fake news. Trump was also friends with Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, everybody will talk about Clinton, but there's plenty of pictures of Trump hanging out with Epstein. Ultimately, it's just really sad to see the hate going around our country today, the racism. He has empowered the worst type of people. Not every Trump supporter is a racist, but every racist is a Trump supporter. It's just very, very sad. And if he wins again, I don't know what I'll do. I am so embarrassed to be an American. I'm so embarrassed to live in this country. I just don't want to be here. I'd rather be in Canada. I'd rather have weed and insurance. And hockey, whatever. They got a lot of hockey up there. Yeah, I would just rather be a Canadian, and I would trade my citizenship in a second. I just don't want to be an American anymore, and if Trump wins, I'm going to do everything I can to not be here. Like, watching the political landscape and the way that people are has actually made me question my own existence as someone who really does want to spread love and light. It's crazy, you know, to think that hate is winning. And I don't know what else to say about it. But yeah, I want Bernie to win. The DNC is doing everything they can to stop him because the DNC is making money because Trump has done things to stimulate the stock market. Again, most stock owners are rich. So yeah, I literally think that the DNC is putting a shill up because their financiers, the people behind the scenes, they just want to keep making money. And Trump's making them money. So I think the DNC doesn't even care if they lose because the right people are making money, and it's about the money. It's not about red or blue, good or bad. It's about the money. And Trump is so divisive that they're dividing and conquering because we'll fight amongst ourselves while they keep getting richer. It's just very sad. It's very disturbing. And the fact that I have like relatives and people that are close to me that are falling for this mess. I mean, I'm trying not to lose respect for people, but I don't think the same of people that support Trump. I'm sorry. Can't help it. And, you know, I hate to have gotten political, and this isn't going to be something that I do all the time, but right now I think it's important to say what I think and say what I feel, so this is that. And I guess that's about it for now. Thank you for watching if you got this far. And again, I apologize for getting political, but, you know, sometimes I need to stop thinking about what everyone else thinks and kind of say what's on my mind, and that's what I'm doing. So thanks for watching. And if any of you guys want to talk politics with me, DM me. We can chat. If you're going to start an argument or start calling me names, don't waste either one of our time. Have a good night.